Part 1. The Secret of the Stone Mask. The rivalry between Dio and the Joestar family stretches back more than 100 years. England, 1868. In 1868 England, the sound of a baby crying draws a thief named Dario Brando to the wreckage of a coach. Thinking the baby's parents are dead, he goes to loot them, only to find that the father is still alive. The father, the nobleman George Joestar, assumes that Dario had come to help the survivors and offers him a favor for coming to their aid. 1880. 12 years later, as he lies dying, Dario Brando tells his only son, Dio, to go to the Joestar estate to take advantage of the debt. Dio is welcomed by George as a son, and by 12-year-old Jonathan Joestar, JoJo, as a brother. But Dio, his heart warped by child abuse, sees Jonathan only as a rival. When their father and the servants are watching, Dio is the ideal son. But in private, he bullies Jonathan mercilessly. Finally, he goes too far when he forces a kiss on Jonathan's sweetheart, Elena Pendleton. Jonathan starts a fight with Dio, and during the fight, a strange thing happens. In the Joestar house is an ancient artifact, a stone mask from the Aztec civilization, which according to legend, has the power to turn its wearer into a vampire. When a drop of blood lands on the mask, Dio and JoJo are both startled as the mask grows spines and moves as if it was alive. Seconds later, the mask is back to normal. But both Dio and JoJo now know that the mask's powers are real. 1888. Years later, Dio and JoJo are university students in London, their differences seemingly behind them. Their father, George, has taken ill, though Dio brings him medicine every day. In the family library, Jonathan discovers a letter to George from Dario Brando on his deathbed. To his horror, Jonathan realizes that Dario and George's symptoms are the same. Realizing that Dio is slowly poisoning his father to get his inheritance, Jonathan confronts him and throws him out of the house. In search of evidence to convict Dio, Jonathan goes to London to find the man who sold Dio the poison. In the London slums, Jonathan is attacked by muggers, but makes friends with their leader, Robert Speedwagon, who helps JoJo find the evidence he needs. Knowing it is only a matter of time until he's exposed, Dio has been experimenting with the stone mask. When he returns to the Joestar estate to find police waiting to arrest him, he puts on the mask and attacks Jonathan with a knife. George Joestar blocks the blow and saves his son at the cost of his own life. As his blood gushes onto the mask, it comes to life, turning Dio into a vampire. Dio seems indestructible until JoJo sets him on fire. As the house is consumed in flames, JoJo tackles Dio off the roof, impaling his heart on a statue. Speedwagon drags Jonathan to safety, and Elena Pendleton, his childhood sweetheart, nurses him back to health. But when the fire burns down, Dio still lives. Stalking the streets of London, the vampire finds a mass murderer and offers him unbelievable power. Jack the Ripper becomes Dio's zombie slave.